School is back in full swing, and just a few years ago, the pandemic completely changed the way that schools operated. Now, things are running smoother, but the impacts of the pandemic are still being felt socially. I am joined today by national etiquette expert and founder of the Charleston School of Protocol, Cindy Grosso. Welcome, Cindy. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thank you.
So first, let's talk about the importance of manners for kids in school. School's completely back in session. Why is it so important to teach these manners to our kids?
Sure. Well, with the pandemic and some of them being separated from their friends and from everybody, really, we all were, it's kind of hard coming back in and then all of a sudden starting to be face to face with teachers, with other students, and we're seeing anxiety among the kids, not really knowing how to interact and how to behave, and I don't, just on a social level. And it's so important. They've missed some of the socialization. When I was growing up, not so much you, but when I was growing up, we didn't have a lot of the technology that they have. Matter of fact, we didn't have any of that technology. But what happened was when you would say something that was kind of mean to someone and you saw the tear roll down your face, you realized, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. And you were learning socialization. There was a lesson that was learned in that. Today, being isolated from people and then the technology of them being very good here, they don't see that tear running down their face. So they don't see how it lands on people. And so part of that socialization they've kind of missed for a while.
So the pandemic impacted this a lot, but also technology.
Yes.
So there's a lot of challenges when it comes to kids having these manners now.
Yes, there is. They did a study and they found that when you're really good here, you're not so good here, face to face. And when you're not so good face to face, what they found was you don't have really good, good eye contact is part of that, but you don't have deep relationships. And when you don't have deep relationship, what they found was that you're not that loyal. And so they're not that loyal to friends or relationships or even businesses some days. So these things are important. They may seem, kind of small, but the details matter. Lessons are in the small things.
So a lot of what you do is helping people become their most successful selves, and I'm sure that involves kids too. We want our kids to be successful as well. What are the most important manners to teach them now that they're back in school?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and of course that confidence starts with as a child. And in 23 years of my business, I'm getting more requests now than ever for children and teens. And I've always done them, but corporate's really the world that I live in, but I have never seen so many requests from parents to help their children with confidence. And I always tell my teens and my children that really part of that definition of self-confidence is my perception of what I think you think of me. That's part of the definition. So if we kind of peel the onion back, what I've given you to think of me is really my perception of how that's coming back to me. So if I get good back, I feel better about myself. If I get bad back, I feel worse about myself. So if it's important to me that it matters to my self-confidence, I want to get good back because I feel better. So how do I do that? And how I do that is I give good. If you give an attitude to someone, probably the first thing you're going to get back is an attitude. And in that moment, you've just taught that person how to treat you. So it's not a 100% guarantee. I wish I could say to them, if you would give good, you'd get good back. That would be a lie. I would love it to be true, but it wouldn't be. But I can tell you that if you don't give good, you have less of a chance of getting good back. And that matters in our self-confidence. And so it's important that we understand to get it, we have to what? Give it. We can't give bad and expect good to come. And that circle of life it affects our self-confidence. That's why it's important to us.
I'm curious too, do you have any tips for teachers who are, dealing, and obviously parents are teaching their kids manners and stuff at home, but what about teachers that are helping to teach in the classroom? How do they help their students have more self-confidence as well?
Sometimes teachers have a hard job. We hope that children are learning manners at home. Sometimes parents are busy. Sometimes they don't see the value in it. They don't understand that manners really, that it's a basis of confidence. They don't get that. They do think it's about the rules. And then the kids therefore think it's a punishment when you talk about, manners. But if we would understand as parents and as teachers that it's the basis of confidence in life, and that really that when praising children when they do things well, as opposed to maybe just always correcting them. But what gets rewarded gets repeated. And that's something we kind of have to remember as parents and as teachers, that we can reward the students when they do something nice.
It's certainly a team effort.
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely it is.
All right, Cindy Grosso, Charleston School of Protocol, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.